The fuel rail pressure sensor measures the fuel pressure in the rail and then controls it. The fuel injectors wouldn't know how much fuel to supply to the cylinders without this sensor. To ensure proper combustion, the cylinders must always have the ideal ratio of fuel to air. In order to match the air balance, the fuel rail pressure sensor instructs the ECU how much fuel should be injected. Due to the calculation error caused by the sensor failing, the incorrect amount of fuel or air is injected. Performance issues result from any problems with the air-fuel mixture. In this video, we discuss some warning signs of a malfunctioning fuel rail pressure sensor as well as its function. We will also explain how much it will cost to replace this tiny part. It's the Car Problems YouTube channel. Subscribe and let's get started. Hard starting. The ECU instructs the fuel system to inject a burst of gasoline into the cylinders in order to start the motor. The proper amount of pressure might not reach the cylinders if the fuel rail sensor is malfunctioning, which could make it difficult to start the engine. The engine may crank a few times before turning on in some cases. However, it might stop working at any moment, leaving you stranded wherever you are. To avoid getting into a dangerous situation, it's crucial to pay attention to early symptoms and have the sensor replaced. Limp Mode. Vehicles are constructed by automakers with a Limp Mode system. Engine and transmission security is provided by this fail-safe. The motor will go into limp mode to draw your attention to any problems and stop further damage. You might not be able to get the car to shift into a higher gear while it is in limp mode. Most cars keep it in second gear permanently. Additionally, you won't be able to drive quickly, which could be dangerous if it occurs while you are on the freeway. High fuel consumption. The inverse may also be accurate. Your vehicle might use more fuel than necessary if the ECU interprets the fuel rail pressure sensor readings incorrectly and injects too much fuel into the system. Those who monitor their car's MPG will notice a difference, even though it probably won't be very noticeable. Even if you have to stop for fuel 30 miles earlier than usual, you saved money by not having to. Check engine light. The check engine light is the most obvious indicator that something is wrong with your car. This warning sign may appear before any symptoms even appear. The indicator light, however, might be the only sign that the fuel rail pressure sensor needs to be replaced. The electronic control unit activates a warning whenever the fuel-air ratio is out of balance or when the reading pressure is too low, which causes the light to come on. The codes attempt to notify you of the issue when the fuel pressure sensor returns a bad reading. Poor engine performance. Power loss will occur as the fuel rail pressure sensor starts to malfunction. The car might not seem to react quickly, even when you press hard on the accelerator. Depending on how hard you press the pedal, the system ought to send more fuel to mix with the air in the cylinders to keep up, but because of the malfunction, it doesn't. Continuing to drive your car lean can seriously harm the engine. You should seek deal with this issue as soon as you can because of this. Stalling engine. We previously covered how a bad fuel rail pressure sensor can prevent the car from starting. The worst-case scenario is if the engine stalls and you are unable to restart it. Nevertheless, the faulty fuel rail pressure sensor makes that possible. Expect the engine to starve and shut off if there isn't enough fuel to keep combustion going. How much does it cost to fix? The cost of replacing a damaged fuel rail pressure sensor is typically low. If you can't install the sensor yourself, you should expect to pay between $50 and $150 for the sensor and another $75 to $250 for labor. The cost of replacement is significantly influenced by the kind of vehicle you drive and the difficulty of the replacement. It doesn't take more than an hour to replace this part. Additionally, the mechanic labor rates in different areas vary, which can significantly alter your spending. The fuel rail pressure sensor is not a part that requires maintenance. It won't need to be replaced frequently and could last the entire lifetime of your car. It is therefore unlikely that you will need to replace the sensor in any vehicle more than once. Hope the information was helpful for you. If so, please press the like button and subscribe to the channel.